Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the King, and welcome back to a brand new series. And in this series, we're going to be taking a look at every single killer in Dead by Daylight and giving you guys the best builds and the best strategies to play with them. And in today's video, we're going to start off with the first guy on the list, my personal main, the Trapper. Now, I absolutely love the Trapper, and I play him in the red ranks all the time. I have so much fun with him, and I honestly think he's very underrated if you know what you're doing. And today, I'm going to prove that to you guys by playing him and showing you guys tips and tricks that I know, along with the best build and best add-ons that you guys can run as well. For those of you guys that don't know what the Trapper does or what his power is, as simple as his name, he places traps down, and this has the potential to cut down loops, cut down vaults, anything that survivors can utilize in order to help them escape you and really change dynamics of gameplay. And if done correctly, you can benefit from this a lot. Besides that, that is pretty much it that's on him. He's a very simple killer to understand, and if used right, as I said, you can do really well. So let's go ahead and jump on into what we're going to be using on him to amplify his power a little bit. The first thing on the list that I have is Sloppy Butcher. Sloppy Butcher allows you to give the mangled and hemorrhage stangus effects, and this basically means that it increases the survivor's bleeding frequency and it makes it longer for them to heal. As a M1 based killer, any time that you have is beneficial, especially since we only place traps. The longer we can keep survivors injured, the better it is for us. Because of this, we can get some cool plays and people will waste more time healing, giving us more times to set up our power and finding and catching them. The next, and probably the most important perk when playing Trapper, is Corrupt Intervention. This is a teachable perk for the Plague, and simply put, 3 generators at the beginning of the game will be blocked by the entity for 120 seconds. This is very, very beneficial to the Trapper because in those 2 minutes at the start of the game, this can be used to set up his power, set up loops, and you basically have a safety net, whereas those generators that typically pop very quickly won't be popping that fast, giving you some time to set up your trap. The next perk on the list, and probably my favorite killer perk, is Pop Goes the Weasel. Pop Goes the Weasel basically rewards you for good gameplay. When you hook somebody on the hook, you have 45 seconds to kick a generator, and this will regress the generator by 25%. This comes very, very in clutch when it comes down to late game and generators are going by pretty quick. You can have something that always continuously regresses the gens if you do your job correctly. This is teachable for the clown, so they'll have to level him up to get it. And finally, the last perk on the list, just to make our lives a little bit easier, is a teachable for the shape, and that is Save the Best for Last. Trapper being an M1 based killer, meaning that he only attacks with one weapon, he doesn't have a special ability. Basically, every time you hit a survivor, you'll gain tokens up to 8 tokens, and each are stackable for 5% and decrease successful basic attack cooldown, meaning you can attack over and over and over in rapid succession. This is a really nice perk for him, especially since he only uses his main attack, and all in all, this is one of the best Trapper builds that I have for you guys. Now, when it comes out to maps or anything like that, it doesn't really matter all that much. Some maps are great for hiding your traps, but the way I personally play Trapper, I don't try to be like 500 IQ with the traps because most of the times that doesn't really work. Sometimes you get some really awesome plays, but you want to be blunt and forceful with the Trapper, or at least that's how I play him. I'm no odds or lefty, but I'm a pretty damn good Trapper. The add-ons that I personally like running are the Trapper Gloves. The Trapper Gloves, simply put, makes it so that your setting time is increased, you can do it way faster, and honestly, anything really goes for the secondary. What I typically like running is a Trapper Bag. You can always use a Stitch Bag as well, but this basically gives you an extra bear trap. Typically, I think this should be on Trapper base, but again, that's a debate for another time. And literally, these 2 add-ons are all you really need to do good as Trapper. Now, if you don't have this, or you want to get something to amplify your gameplay a little bit much, Honing Stone is really good because if a survivor frees themselves, they'll just get downed. Pretty awesome. Bloody Coil is really good as well if you're doing something like a basement build with Trapper, which I'll probably try to do here, even though we don't have basement perks. Stitch Bag and any of the bags pretty much help as well. Fastening tools and setting tools are good too. I'm not the biggest fan of tar bottles, but you can use them as well if you need the extra help. With that being said, let's go ahead, use this perk build, jump out into a game, and see how we do. Alrighty, here we go. First game of the day. We are on Blood Lodge. These are some of the favorite maps that I have when playing Trapper. I love the Macmillan maps as well. Super, super good. So, first of all, when I play Trapper, I like going to the major loops, and once I'm here, I just like placing the traps down. I make them pretty obvious. Sometimes if there's grass around, I hide them as well. Makes the job a little bit easier. Survivors will naturally disarm your traps. People have methods in which they try stopping this, but realistically, I don't really mind. You can reset them, and when they're running around chasing loops, you can pretty much make sure they go into traps. A very important trap to place is right here by the killer shack. This one's a little bit more sneaky, but when survivors hug this end to loop around, they get punished. Hey, there's a new Pengu here and a Nancy on that side. I'm gonna go ahead and smack you. Speaking of, while we're smacking this girl, she might run into our trap right here, right now. Ooh, lucky. So, speaking of, I hope you guys do enjoy these types of videos. This is something that is brand new to the channel, and I really hope that you guys enjoy these, because it would be really awesome if you did. I have a lot of knowledge to share with you guys, and yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoy it. Always keep a trap in hand. By the way, she's gonna drop this. You can really cut down your loops. She dropped the killer shack pallet already, which is really easy. I mean, we've seen a few people here and there. So she's gonna go to this pallet here, and our trap is placed there. If she's not gonna pay attention, oh nope, she has the loop. Ooh, and she has life as well. Very nice, getting that exhaustion play going on. Not too bad, girl. We're getting blood loss. Soon they're gonna be removing blood loss, so keep that in mind as well. No pal on this side, so that is a rip for her. Alright, so that gen's being worked on there, but we do have Pop Goes the Weasel. So simply put, pick her up and take her to the hook over here. We'll come back and we'll kick it. And it's always really good if you get it down within the first 2 minutes, so you can have a little bit more time on your corrupt intervention. Cool. So got them down. I'm going to kick that. One gen pops, one hook, fair trade. Keeping an eye on making sure there's no survivors. I'm going to place this trap over here. That way it gives them no chance to run here, and they will forcibly run back into me in case they try to use that for an escape. And always, again, keep a trap in hand. Sometimes you get to really safe pallet loops, and a trap can really save you. Hi, Dwight. He's gonna go get a save. I'll take a nice little trade. Works for me. While she's here, if she has borrowed time, I will also take a hit. There's Fang. I don't really want to worry about Fang. She's our obsession. With Trapper, if we can get someone in the trap, it works pretty good. Well, she missed the flashlight tutorial. I would say go watch mine, but it's a bit outdated, so yeah. Pop again. We can pop this one more time. Just get it down to 0. Get it out the way. That Dwight's over there. I'm gonna place this trapper right here. Always place your traps not directly in the center of the pallet as well, because if they decide to drop the pallet, which a lot of survivors end up doing, the trap is going to be negated. You have to break the pallet. In some instances, you can leave the pallet alone if it's dropped and use it as bait, essentially. They're both going for the save. Looks like the Newt girl is there. So we're going to go after her, actually. I don't want to go after the Dwight. I know she was just on the hook, but I don't want to go after Fang, and I don't want to go after Dwight because he was literally just hooked. So I don't mind going after her again. She has life, and we need to remember that. And yeah, that's about it. There's a pallet here, and down she goes. Already got 6 stacks. Just gonna look at this wall because that girl has a flashlight. Don't want her trying to get any saves. And the basement is here. Beautiful. On the hook you go. 4 gens still remaining. 1 gen might pop here, but the other 2 are probably healing up. So I'm gonna go grab this trap. She is in the basement, and we didn't get the ideal basement spawn. Normally the killer shack is the ideal basement spawn. But this trap still can do, and they can walk by this, but they might disarm it if they're too cautious. If they're not paying attention, they might even walk into it, giving us a very easy trap. I'm going to go pick this trap up. Again, always keep traps in hands, and that's pretty much going to be all the traps that we have. There is another person here. It is the Dwelf. You guys are very altruistic, considering they've both been on the hook each time. Very nice, he got that. I'm gonna place this here, and then I'm gonna place this one here. So even if they do have dead hard, they're kind of screwed. Just smack her straight in the trap, and then we get the Dwight. Smack her again, get our 8 stacks. I'm gonna pick up the Dwight first. She had no idea that trap was there. Beautiful. And now we rinse and repeat pretty much. Basement Trapper is so strong because no matter how many gens are popped, you have to save your teammates. Everybody's altruistic. They want those points. They want their survivor friends. and that really, really messes with it. All right, let's see if she has D-Strike. I don't think she does. She does indeed. All right. Cool. She doesn't run back in. That means we can now chase the Fang. 2 gens get popped. Damn. We got 2 gens going. All right, we'll place this one here. We'll place this one here. The vault is the only other place that they can come from, but that's okay. We'll leave them be. Let's see. How are our gens set up? We got one over there, one over there, one over there, and one over there. So we potentially could have a little 3-gen going on, but nothing too crazy. All right, we got 2 people here. We got the Nancy and we got the Feng. I'm going to go after the Feng and hope that the Nancy... Oh, that was silly. And hope that the Nancy tries running in for the save. If she goes to the vault, she's dead. Unless she goes to the top. Okay, well, someone touched that. So I'm going to go in. There's the Nancy. We're going to rearm this trap. And rearm this one. Go after them again. She was our obsession, so I probably shouldn't have hit her. Well, she's dead on hook. Somebody else is here. I think the Feng is here trying to get the flashlight save. Oh, I was hoping she ran into that. We can get her out the game. And let's see if the white has D-Strike. Actually, who's touching this? Nancy, you touching that? Alright, we'll leave her be. We'll leave her be. I know I'm being a little bit mean here, but he probably has D-Strike, and if not, then big oof. Oh, there's the big oof. Gotta do what we gotta do to win. And we got our 7 stacks of Save the Best for Last with the Obsession dead. That is pretty damn good. I'm gonna grab these 2 traps. There's 2 people remaining, giving us immense pressure. And there's 2 gens left, which is gonna be a little bit hard for them to overcome. And we got some Pop Goes to Weasel. Let's see if any of those gens have been worked on. If any gens should be worked on, I hope puts this one back here. Nope, not even touched. Okay, so far so good. I did play a little bit mean. I could have just slugged them and go after some other people. But if I'm showing you guys the best builds and how to play the best, I got to show you guys what to do. They were a little bit over altruistic, so it came into my play. The white and the Pengu just kept saving each other so much, so works out for me. This is the only gen here to kick, so I will kick that. And now we look. We haven't hooked the Feng or the Nancy, so we'll do that. And there's a hatch, so that's really good to know. So typically when I play Trapper and I find a hatch and I know where it's at, I do something that's what most trappers should do. I grab 2 traps and I go to the exit doors because I know that it's very unlikely that they're going to finish these 2 gens. And simply put, I place the traps on the gates so that way they cannot open the gate unless they disarm the trap. And once I lock down the hatch, I'll know exactly what door they're at. It makes my job very, very easy. Unless I get outgamed by a key and then rip. The doors are very bad spawn for them. I could literally stand in the middle right here after locking the hatch, not move, and pinpoint exactly where they're at. This is a very, very smart thing to do when playing as Trapper because there's not too much that they can do. So that gen got popped really quickly, which means that they're probably working on it together. That was the back gen, and that gen had 0 progress. And normally that would take 80 seconds to pop, but that was pretty fast. So I'm assuming they both were there, and they both worked on it together. So we're going to move to the gen that's right next to it. Let's go take a look at the other gens just to make sure. Oh, well, there we go. We got both of them right there. Someone got trapped in the trap by the Killer Shack, and there is the Nancy. So that makes our job a little bit easier. I'm going to leave the Feng alone, and the reason I'm going to leave her alone is because she's already injured. She's going to waste time healing and whatnot. We're going to go after this Nancy. She's fully healed. I don't want her working on generators, so we'll do that. And the 7 stacks coming into play there. As you can see, she made a mistake, and the Killer Shack pallet is not there. Gonna wait for Dead Art, no Dead Art, and we get her down. And simply, I'll leave her slugged, and now we go for the Feng. Okay, well, she's not around, so I'm gonna go back for this Nancy, and I'm gonna try to bring her as close to the hook as I can. That's next to the hatch. So that way, if she decides to die on the hook, I'll be able to close the hatch really, really quickly. And here's a beautiful hook right here. On she goes. And typically I run barbecue and chili just because I like points and I swap it out for sloppy butcher. But in this instance, we don't have it, so it doesn't really help me too much. And as you can see, she is trying to Kobe off the hook, and give her Fang friend a chance, but the hatch is right here. And simply put, we just stand by the 2 doors until the Fang decides to touch one of them, and we profit. There goes the hatch. No adrenaline. Makes our job way easier. And literally, if we stand right here, there is nothing that she can do. In fact, I don't even need to look. I can literally just stand instead of looking and just know exactly where she's coming from. These doors are something that needs to be changed. This is why my idea for a key in the basement would work great now. Now I would have to worry about her going to the basement, grabbing a key, and opening the hatch. But even in this instance, the hatch is right there too. So not much that she can do here. Kind of feel bad for her, but hey, it is what it is. Blame the RNG of DBD. There she is. Just like that, there's nothing else that she can do, and that is pretty much a GG. She's probably going to try vaulting here. Or maybe not. I don't know what she's trying to do. GG Fang, I need to smack you down. Whoa, she slid after that. Alrighty, we're gonna go put her on the hook. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a GG. You see the build working in action there. Getting those initial gens down. Keeping that Fang injured. Pop goes in the weasel those gens early. And save the best for last, stuck at 7 stacks. Pretty nice. Pretty well built, if I do say so myself. And you get the nice traps as well. 2 traps coming in clutch with putting on the doors. So that is personally the best trapper build that I have for you guys. Let me know if you guys have any better builds. You obviously could combine this with whatever perks you want. Maybe you want whispers or something like that. But this is pretty much what's going to give you guys a good game and a good trial. And I hope you guys did enjoy. We almost got a double pip there. 25,000 points at the end of the day when all was said and done. And that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. But thank you guys for watching. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I got a connection error as soon as that game ended, so I guess that's a sign. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. Subscribe for some more daily Dead by Daylight content, more videos like this, and much more to come. So close to 100k, so please consider subscribing down below. And as always, I'm the King. It's a Mike Ramsey, guys, and we'll see you in the fall.